Good afternoon, my students. How are you today? I hope everything is all right. So this is a grammar lesson about linking words, okay? And you know, linking words is, okay? Linking words are what? Okay, are the connectors or transitional devices that we use to, okay, connect ideas. So let's have a look at this definition, okay? Linking words are, okay, the connectors we need to establish a smooth, okay, transition when we want to move from one idea, okay, to the next. They make one follow a writing product, okay, or even, okay, when we are speaking, we need linking words, okay, without being, okay, bored or overwhelmed by the content, okay. Without linking words, our speech, the way we speak would be, okay, too difficult. It would be like, okay, complicated for people to understand it, okay? So the linking words that we use in our speech, in our writing, help, okay, the reader or the receiver, the listener, okay, whatever, to, okay, follow, okay, and, okay, understand what we are talking about, okay? So linking words are needed both in speaking and in writing, as I said before, and a good way to, okay, make use of them is achieved by memorizing the functions they play within a sentence. Of course, different, okay, linking words play different roles, okay? We are going to see, okay, when to use them. So, some of them, okay, are used to show results, some to show cause and effect, while others summarize aforementioned or previously mentioned ideas or points, okay? So let's have a look, okay, at the common ones, okay, that are, okay, used in English. In English, there are lots of linking words, okay, words that connect, okay, phrases and sentences together. Here is a list of some of them according to the function they play, okay? Of course, here I cannot mention all the linking words because there are many, okay? I try to mention, okay, common ones, okay, only. So let's see, so this is, okay, the linking word and this is the function they play, okay? Let's see, for example, we have to express addition, you can use words like and, as well as, in addition, also, besides, furthermore, etc. Okay, moreover, additionally, and other ones, of course. Sometimes in our speech, in our writing, we need to give an example. We can say, for instance, for example, such as, in other words, okay, etc. And sometimes you can, okay, summarize ideas or draw conclusion. You can say finally, in brief, to conclude, in short, so, to summarize, etc. And sometimes we need, okay, to make concession. You say although, however, yet, despite, in spite of, okay? And you can also, you know, explain results, okay, cause and effect, okay? Like as a consequence, hence, therefore, so, thus, etc. To provide a reason, you say since, for this reason, for this purpose, so that, since, because, etc. Okay? Let's see. To make comparisons, you can say equally, similarly, likewise, in the same ways, in the same way, after, before, until, first. This is, okay, or these are linking words that you use to sequence event or a series of events. Okay. There are three main, okay, types of linking words that I would like you to, okay, know. So I'm going to, okay, talk about each type, okay, so that you can understand, okay, separately. Okay, I'm not going to confuse you. So the first one is called coordinating conjunctions. You can just, you know, remember or memorize the phrase, okay, fanboys, and you are going to know all of them. They are 7, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. So they are used to join elements of equal importance, okay? They are used in the middle of the sentence mostly, okay? So here is an example. Samantha wrote the essay, okay, so that's a clause, okay, and her friend checked the grammar mistakes. So we have two clauses. This is clause number 1 and clause number 1, okay, or sentence number 1, sentence number 2, and the coordinating conjunction that we use here is and. He is very rich, yet he doesn't spend money. So we express, okay, concession here, okay. They warned him, okay, but he didn't take it into consideration. The linking word is, or the coordinating conjunction is but, okay? The second type is called subordinating conjunction. Words like after, although, because, despite, okay, even if, whereas, since, there are many, okay, etc. Okay? They are used to introduce a subordinate clause. That is a clause that needs to be attached to another clause, okay, for, okay, or to another main clause for the overall meaning to be clear, okay? Let's see, unlike, okay, coordinating conjunctions that must appear, okay, in the middle of the sentence, okay, subordinating conjunctions can appear either, okay, at the beginning, okay, the middle, or at the end sometimes, okay, with a slight change, okay, of punctuation. They have been discussing the problem. Have a look at this one first, okay? They have been, okay, discussing the problem for several weeks. They didn't reach a conclusion, okay? It means that the discussion, okay, went in vain, okay? Normally, if some people, or two people, etc., discuss a problem for a long time, okay, they should reach a conclusion, okay? They should, okay, come up, okay, or come to, okay, they should have come to, okay, a final point, okay? And I'm going to use, okay, I'm going to combine these two clauses, okay, with the linking words although. And although is a coordinating conjunction, it makes one clause depends on the other clause, okay, so that it gets its meaning, okay? Although they have been discussing the problem for several weeks, comma, they didn't reach a conclusion. So have a look at this one. The clause that is written in red, in green, sorry, is called a dependent or a subordinate clause. Why? Because it needs to be linked, or it needs to be attached to the other clause which is in red, so that it can have a meaning. Otherwise, it would be meaningless, okay? They didn't reach a conclusion. That's an independent clause or a main clause. It can stand alone as a sentence without any problem, okay? So here, for the first one, you as a hearer or as a listener, okay, receiver, you expect the, okay, speaker to say something else, okay, to complete the meaning. Let's see, for example, and I would like you to go back. So notice when we start with the dependent or the subordinate clause, you need a comma, okay, to, okay, separate the two clauses. However, sometimes you can switch the order. You can say, for example, they didn't reach a conclusion, although I would like it here, for example, to be in the middle of the sentence. Although, okay, they have been discussing the problem for several weeks. So when although or a subordinating conjunction comes in the middle of the sentence, we don't need a comma, okay? That's the independent clause, which is in red, and that's the subordinate clause, which is in green. No comma is used when we start with the independent clause, like in this one, but we need a comma when we start with the dependent or the subordinate clause. She spent 2 years in Morocco. She didn't learn Moroccan Arabic. I would like to combine these two sentences. Even though she spent 2 years in Morocco, she didn't learn Moroccan Arabic. Or she didn't learn Moroccan Arabic even though, okay, and one mistake that many students, okay, make is that even if they, okay, put the linking words in the middle, they keep, okay, capital letters. So notice that it's uppercase letter, okay, and, okay, this one is, okay, lowercase letter, okay. Let's see, okay, the third type is called conjunctive adverbs, and then I would like you please to, okay, concentrate, okay, on this because it needs concentration. Words like however, nonetheless, besides, therefore, etc. They are used to connect, okay, one sentence to the next and give paragraphs, okay, coherence, okay? Let's see number one, for example. I agree with his views, however, I don't agree with the strategies he uses. So here we have, however, it connects this idea with another one, okay? I agree with, okay, his, okay, views. I don't agree with the strategies he uses. However, notice, so here we need a full stop, okay, when however comes between two clauses. Sometimes you can keep it at the end and you need a comma before it, okay? The same thing for therefore, okay? She studied hard, therefore she got a satisfactory grade. You can put therefore between the two clauses, or you can keep it till the end, okay? try to see the punctuation patterns involved when the conjunctive adverb takes a different position. Okay, so a comma after, okay, however, or a comma before, however, and capital letter, lowercase letter. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay, I would like you please to focus on this because they are a little bit confusing. Okay. In spite of and despite, okay, many students make mistakes, okay, in these, okay, two linking words, and I would like to clarify something. Let's say, for example, in spite of years, okay, of dieting, he is still fat, okay? That's a concession. Normally, if someone, okay, is, taking a diet for a long time, okay, he or she shouldn't, okay, be fat, okay? Salim didn't, okay, get a satisfactory grade in spite of working hard, okay? I went swimming despite the cold weather. Despite his sickness, okay, he attended his class. And despite having a long working experience, John couldn't find a job. Now, let's see, for example, that's the pattern. In spite of, like this one, okay, years, in spite of plus a noun, or a verb plus ing, this in spite of working. The same thing for despite, we say despite plus a noun, like despite his sickness, that's a noun, sickness, or despite plus a verb plus ing, okay? So be careful, okay, with these two linking words, okay? Let's say, for example, he gets a high salary, he is unhappy. There is a contradictory here, okay? Number one, if I would like you to start it with despite or in spite of, what are you going to say? Okay? You are going to apply what we have learned here. In spite of plus noun or verb ing, despite plus noun or verb plus ing. Okay? Okay. So here, the main verb here is get, okay? And the main verb here is, okay? So I'm going to say despite getting ing, getting a high salary, comma, he is unhappy. In spite of getting a high salary, comma, he is unhappy. And if I don't want, okay, the ing of the verb, okay, of the clause, there is another, okay, simple way that you can, okay, write, okay, which is, okay, that's the answer first. Despite getting a high salary, he is unhappy. Or, in spite of getting a high salary, okay, he is unhappy. If I don't want, okay, if I don't know, okay, how to, okay, get the ing of the main verb of the first sentence, or the sentence, okay, that is given to me, I'm going to say, for example, despite, and I'm going to add the fact that, and here I'm going to keep the same, okay? He gets a high salary, he is unhappy. Despite the fact that he gets a high salary, comma, he is unhappy. The same thing for in spite of, I'm going to say in spite of the fact that he gets a high salary, comma, okay, he is unhappy. And this one, okay, can also be, okay, at the middle of the sentence. I can say he is unhappy despite the fact that he gets a high salary. He is unhappy in spite of the fact that he gets a high salary, okay? Now, she worked very hard, she enjoyed her studies. If I would like you please to, okay, combine these two clauses using in spite of or despite, okay? Can you please, I'm going to give you a while, okay, so that you can do it. Okay, apply the rule, despite plus ing, okay? Plus noun or verb plus ing, or despite plus the fact that, and then you are going to say the same, okay? So she worked very hard, she enjoyed her studies. She enjoyed, okay, her studies despite working very hard. Or I'm going to say she enjoyed her studies despite the fact that she, okay, the fact that, okay, should be followed by a clause, not here it's an ing, verb plus ing, working, okay? Here it's a clause. In spite of now, can you please, okay, think of how are you going to write it with in spite of? In spite of, what's the verb? Is worked, okay? In spite of, okay, working hard, okay, working hard, she enjoyed her studies. Or you can say, in spite of the fact that she worked hard, comma, she enjoyed, okay, her studies, okay. Now we're going to do this exercise. Rewrite the following sentences using the linking words given. Okay, let's see number one. It's the same. Okay, different. Okay, linking words, and they play different. Okay, and they play the same. Sorry, the same function. Okay, they all show concession. She is 90. She is still active. Normally, someone who is in 90, in his 90s, he should be weak, etc. And this woman, for example, she is 90, but she is still active. Okay. Number two, Bob ate a larger dinner. Okay, he is still hungry. Okay. Many people eat a lot, and they always feel hungry. We don't know what happens in their stomachs. I had lots of things to do. I went to the movie anyway. Okay. Number four, he washed his hands. They still look dirty. Okay. So they all about linking words that show concession somehow. Okay. Now let's see number one. I'm going to use it with although, but the focus here is on punctuation is not the same. So although can come, but should only come in the middle of the two sentences. Okay, although can be at the beginning or in the middle, however, etc. Okay, so let's see, for example, she is 90, she is still active. I'm going to write it with although. I'm going to say although she is 90, she is still active. Okay, she is 90, but she is still active. Okay, she is 90. However, she is still active. And remember, I can write, for example, however, at the end of the second clause, I'm going to say, she is 90, she is still active, however. Okay? That's another option. You can, choose it if you want. Okay? Exercise, item number two. Bob ate a larger dinner, he is still hungry. Okay? And I'm going to write it with nonetheless, in spite of, and then bear in mind what we have said before, what I mentioned before about in spite of, because it's a little bit different from other linking words. And however, with nonetheless, I'm going to say nonetheless means like even though, Bob ate a larger dinner, nonetheless he is still hungry. Okay, so in spite of, in this case I'm going to write, so ate, infinitive is eat, ing, eating. In spite of eating a larger dinner, Bob or he is, there is no he, Bob or he, sorry, there is no, is still hungry. Okay, Bob ate a larger dinner, however, he is still hungry. Okay, let's see number three. I had lots of things to do. I went to the movie anyway. We can do it with nevertheless, yet, or though. Okay? I had lots of things to do. Nevertheless, I went to the movie anyway. Okay? Nevertheless takes the possession, in the middle of, the two clauses, or between the two clauses. I had lots of things to do. Yet I went to the movie anyway. Though, you can write it either at the beginning or in the middle. Though I had lots of things to do, I went to the movie. Number four, he washed his hands, they still look dirty. Despite, and then you can say despite washing his hands, they still look dirty. Or you can say even though, he washed his hands, they still look dirty. Good. And here we can say, for example, despite, suppose that I don't want, the ing, for example, of this one. I'm going to say, despite the fact that he washed his hands, comma, they still look dirty. And then for the last one, you can say, he washed his hands, however, they still look dirty. That's we all have time for. Thanks for watching. I hope it was interesting, and see you next time.